if you remember what we talked about last Saturday, can you just remind us in the chat box? Okay, we talked about network marketing, and tell me 1, 2 things that you remember about what we talked about. Yeah, it was about network marketing, but specifically, what did you learn? What did you learn last week from the network marketing topic that we talked about last week? What did you remember? So can you just tell me if there's 1, 2, 3 things you remember about what we talked about last week on network marketing? Can you just, money is useless without purpose. Money is useless without purpose. Okay, can we have more things that we learned last week? Purpose. And we talk about something on selfishness. You remember that love is selfishness through selflessness. Thank you, Olusegun. Love is selfishness through selflessness. And we said the most important thing in network marketing is your name. The most important thing in network marketing, we say, is your name. So, and that's where we are going to start today. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to today's call. This is Financial Mentoring with Pastor Yemi. And today we will still continue in that line of network marketing. And so, I believe you are seeing my screen. Now, if you are seeing my screen, give me a 1 on the chat box. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you are hearing me. Give me a 1 in the chat box. Don't forget that one of the things that we do here is that we engage ourselves through the chat box. Until you love people, you can never help them. Thank you. Points for helping people is to love them. And then another thing that we must understand is that by the time you love people, they begin to come to you at your beck and call. So we move on from there. And we talked about network marketing. We said that you need to be selfless first before you can show love. Before you can show love, you must be selfless. You must be selfless. You must love people. And then we said that until you love people, you cannot help them. If money is what drives you in anything in life, you can never be wealthy. You can never help people, and you can never be wealthy. If money is what drives all your endeavors. And that's why sometimes we make sacrifices just to be able to help people, and so that we can make progress. And you discover that when you are helping people, the progress you make will be faster than people who are conservative about helping people. So we move on again today, and we look at the various industries where you can make money: oil and gas, where you can raise wealth, in the airline, agriculture, medical line. But we said network marketing is one of the biggest. Now, we are starting from here. What can you see on the screen? Tell me what you can see on the screen. If you are watching, if you are seeing me, what can you see on your screen? What are you seeing on your screen? Just type it in the chat box. What is your name? Okay, what is your name? Who again? Okay, Moses, what is your name? Who again is there? Ejibunu, what is your name? Ruti, what is your name? iPhone I, what's your name? Mary Olubemi, what's your name? Now, the question now, I want every one of us, I want you to type the answer in the chat box. What's your name? So I want the answer. Please, what's your name? What is your name? Get it for me in the chat box. I want to see what your name is, what your names are. So tell me what's your name. Answer that question. What is your name? My name is Moses Ayejoto. My name is Wealth Olusegun. Okay, who's next? What's your name? What's your name? My name is, okay, please, let's move fast. Today we have so much to cover. My name is Blue Diamond Roots. Okay, what's your name? What's your name? I love the names I'm saying. My name is Roslyn Olowo Kai. That's a good name, money maker. My name is Esan Josephine. My name is Shola Ayenuyo. What's your name? There's about 2-3 people more that needs to introduce themselves. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Tell me what's your name. And let me shock you. You don't forget that we said we are redefining things. We are redefining things. What is your name? Remember, for many of us when we're growing up, one of the most common advices and requests that our parents makes to us or gives to us, especially when we are going back to school, especially when we are going out, is remember the son of whom you are. Now you ask yourself, who is my father? I'm the son of who? So exactly, this is the same thing. Say, what is your name? Now let's go on. What's your name? What's your name? Now let's look forward now. What is your name? Now tell me what is your name. Now, from what you've seen on the screen, tell me what is your name on the chat box. Quickly, 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 quickly. Just now tell me what is your name now from what you are seeing on the chat box. Quickly, I want 2, 3 people to just answer me before I move on. What is your name now? Your name had been Blue Diamond Roots, went Olusegun, Roslyn Olowo, Shola Ayenuyo, Esan Josephine. Now, that is not what we mean when we say in network marketing, your name is the most important thing. When we say what is your name, we are talking about what is your personal integrity and what is your reputation. So your name represents your personal integrity and your reputation. A wealthy man does not see his name as Mike, does not see his name as Samuel. He sees his name as his personal integrity and his reputation. So in network marketing, your name is your personal integrity. And so when we say that the most important thing for you in network marketing is your name, we are saying that the most important thing for you in network marketing is your personal integrity and your reputation. Is your personal integrity and your reputation. We say your greatest asset, reputation. We said before you talk about the skill that you have, the mentality you need to acquire, the boundary to your personal integrity and your reputation. If your personal integrity is 0, every other thing will be 0. Network marketing is about primarily your network, your personal integrity is the main asset. It is, and that's where the real money is. That's where the real money is. That's why you see some people will say, because you said it's good, I'm going to do it. So, and when you look at the number of people that you can pull in any networking, a lot of people that can close their eyes to take decisions without, because of you, without minding what is going to be the aftermath, your personal integrity and your personal reputation and integrity. That is where the real money is. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where the real money is. It is not the network marketing that is giving you the money. It is your personal integrity and your reputation that is giving you the money. And you are going to learn a little. You are going to generate value to the people that will come to you and join. It's part of your personal integrity. Many people in network marketing, the moment they acquire people to join a particular line of business, they abandon them. And that is the value. That is about your value. It is not about the company, it is about you. If you are a man and a woman of value, if through network marketing you recruit people into a business, you will give them uptime. There are downtimes. There are not adding value to the people that you have brought in, then you have no integrity. You have no personal reputation. The first of my personal reputation is that I brought this person, I encouraged him to join, I persuaded him to join this business, and so the entire responsibility, I have to be accountable for that person. Marketing, there are 2 classes of people. There are 2 classes of people in network marketing. We have the value creators and the value networkers. The value creators and the value networkers. Number one, the value creators are the people who produce the product that you are. These are the value creators. They created the value. Now, the second class of people are the value networkers, those who do not create the products or the services, but they are the one who wants to market it to the whole world. These two people are very important, but I'm still telling you that the most important of them is the value marketers, because a company, a manufacturer who is a value creator can create a value if nobody is buying it. And that is the reason why most companies today are shifting away from the traditional advertisement and business development model by going to TVs, by using billboards. Most companies are shifting away, most 21st century companies are shifting away, because today it is not about the value, it is about the network marketer, people who can go to the grassroots, who have their wide range of coverage, and they can engage their network to be able to use their personal integrity to come and buy the product or the services that the value creators have created. Ladies and gentlemen, I have several investment opportunities where the people that I brought along with me didn't know jack about it. They didn't know jack. As a matter of fact, somebody was telling me about 2 weeks ago, he said, I just abandoned this money for you in that place. I trust you, that's where it's not because I believe in it, it's not because I know it, because I trust you. And so, if somebody said, take the money, create the account, don't ask me about anything. I just trust that in 1 year, you will deliver what you said this company delivers. So most times, it's not about the product, it's not about the company, their network, that this is good for them, and they will believe you in it. The most criminal, most dangerous thing to do is to bring people in to buy products or services and present another product, another service, or another services. In a few months, in a few years from now, that person is never going to buy it because of the value that you refuse to add. Okay, it's looking like I've lost connection there. Connection there. Okay, sorry. Network marketing, I said, is one of the greatest opportunity for anyone that is not born by a rich man to become rich. It's a platform that doesn't require capital or a lot of capital in terms of financial investments. It's a platform that allows anybody like you and I, who has no rich father, who has the brain to be able to close the gap between those who inherited wealth from their parents. It's the platform that gives an ordinary man the platform to become wealthy. You as an ordinary person with meager money, it gives you access to the biggest resources available in the world, the biggest resources. So you can become anything as long as you understand this business, this model of business called network marketing. So if you are hearing me and you are enjoying what I'm saying, just type something in the chat box for me to know that you are getting. Yes, it is a platform where an ordinary man like you and I, not born with silver spoon, not born with golden spoon, not born with plastic spoon, no spoon when you were born, but yet it provides any kind of wealth that the wealthy are experiencing. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, the most expensive network marketer in the world today comes from Nigeria. It's a Nigerian man from Edo State there, Benin specifically, he earns over $1 million every single month, over $1 million every single month. And so that is the opportunity that network marketing provides for you. Don't forget, I'm reminding you, remember, there are 4 ways to become wealthy: marry a rich woman, a rich man or woman, inherit wealth, fortune from your father or mother, through shares and all of that, through and by graduating from a elite university and having mixed with children of very wealthy people. Number 4 way is through a mentor. What I'm showing you, what I've been showing you in this session. Your greatest asset before you talk about skills is your person begins by knowing you don't know it all. Personal integrity begins when you know that you don't know it all. I told you many weeks ago that if anybody tells you you don't know anything, let them know that you know. So personal integrity is first knowing that you don't know it all and there is something additional that you need to know. That's why many people, when I want to show some people some opportunities and they say, no, I'll say, if you know more than, if you know things that you think I need to know, tell me, I will listen to you. And my mind is so open that if I find a better opportunity than the one I'm taking advantage of, I split my investment, I put some into it, I learn it, and I get onto it. And that is why I said, learn to listen. Learn to listen. Personal integrity begins when you know that you don't know it all. And that is the reason why some of us today, we have consistently been on this program for the last 2 months, because we agree that we have personal integrity and know that we don't know it all. And someone can teach us. That's why a 50-year-old man will sit under a 30-year-old board. That is why a professor will sit under just a first degree graduate to learn. Why? Because it is part of personal integrity to know that you don't know it all. So the one way to also show that you don't know it all is to learn to listen. Don't forget, love is selfishness through selflessness. You have to be selfless first before you can show love to people and before you can meet their needs. Now, let's move on in the journey of network marketing today. If you are still with me and you are enjoying what you are learning today, just type it for me in the chat box and tell me one of the things that you are enjoying as we move on today. Just tell me one of the things that you have learned today. Just tell it to me so that I will know that you are on with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've lost my sharing and I didn't know. Let me quickly connect back to the sharing screen. So your name is your personal integrity and what? And your reputation. That is what your name is. So let me share my screen again. So tell me what you have learned in the last 15 minutes that you have been here. Tell me what you have learned the last 15 minutes. Okay. Now, let's continue. We're talking about network marketing. Like I asked last week, or I confessed last week, the question is, am I a network marketer? I mean, the person that is talking to you now, is he really a network marketer? The answer is, I am not a professional network marketer. However, my mind is open enough to be able to learn and know what I need to know to be able to excel as a network marketer. Some things are just about nomenclatures, but when you put the nomenclature aside, when you have the value to become that thing, then you discover that you can do well in it. Now, let's move forward gradually. I want to tell you, like I said, if you are either a value creator or a value networker. So if creator, but you can be a value networker. And that's why it's important that you will choose where you stand whenever you are coming into a thing like this. Choose where you stand. Choose where you stand. Like I said, this is one of the greatest opportunities for someone who has no rich father, rich mother, who is not married to the family of the rich to become wealthy. And let me tell you, this is where this program comes in. Mentors are your second parents. What did I say? Mentors are who? They are your second parents. Your first parents, you didn't choose them. Your first parents, you didn't have the opportunity to choose them. You just woke up in the morning, you just woke up to life and discovered that you have a poor father, you discover you have an average mother, and there is just nothing you can do about that. There is nothing. The choice of your parents, there's nothing you can do about that. So there's no need to mourn over that. There's no need to mourn over who is your father, who is your mother. But you can decide to choose someone that is successful, built companies, who has generated. Commit yourself to be born this time by that person. Submit yourself to be born this time by that person. So for the first time in your life, you are going to have a new second parent. For the first time in your life, you are going to be part of a person who has built systems, who has built companies, who has built processes. You are going to observe him and witness the processes and practices of how he has been able to create wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, 90% of the reason why most people are poor was not because they don't have the capacity to be wealthy. 90% are poor, most people are poor. It's not because they don't have the capacity to be wealthy, but because the capacity to learn was exercised observing poor parents. Did you get what I said? 90% of the reason 90% of the reason why most people are poor was not because they don't have the capacity to be wealthy, but because they exercise that capacity by observing poor parents and poor people around them. And let me tell you, whosoever you look at is what you will look like. Whosoever you look at continuously, who you will look like. Now, I put it for you in the chat box. I'm helping you now. 90% of the reason why most people are poor is because it's not because they don't have the capacity to be wealthy, but because they exercise that capacity to be wealthy, observing poor parents, observing poor people. And when you observe these people, you are likely going to become like them. You are most likely going to become like them. Grow up in a society where we see everything we see is poverty. Our parents struggle to become something successful. They struggle to become somebody in life, but we grew up witnessing poverty in its rawest form. And so as we grew up, we manifested poverty as adults. We manifested poverty as adults. Even the mentality that our parents created for us were poverty mentality. Many of us grew up thinking that,
like I'm saying,
on Sunday that
mentors will reprogram your mind.
Many of us grew up.
Mentor assignment is to reprogram your mind in such a way that you begin to think just as the wealthy think. You begin to think like the wealthy think. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are catching something, just type it for me in the chat box. Type whatever you are catching for me in the chat box. Type it for me in the chat box. Type it for me in the chat box. I'm observing you from the chat box. Said 90% of the people have capacity to be rich, But because they exercise that capacity to be rich, observing poor parents and living in a poor environment, they have continually remained poor.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand that by observing these things, by observing the lifestyle of mentors, by observing what they do, how they act, how they live their life, how the kind of value system that they possess, by observing all of it become like them. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why it's important. And like I've always said, that one day with a mentor can position you 10 decades ahead of your mates. One day with a mentor can position you 10 decades ahead in life. And that's why it's important we must understand the value of mentors. So when you pay a mentor, when you engage a mentor, you are not paying him so that you can just rub around him. When you pay a mentor, when you engage a mentor, you are engaging him to learn from his experiences. You are engaging him to learn from his experiences. You know, that's why we must understand the difference between an apprentice and a mentee. An apprentice and a mentee. An apprentice goes to a business of somebody to learn a craft. He learns the craft and learns the rudiment, teach you only the craft. A mentor will and open your mind to divide you up with network. So what did I say? The craft, you understand the craft and the rudiment of a business. But a mentor will teach you the craft, give you understanding of philosophies, and open you up to his network, to the opportunity that is exposed to. And that is, you know, when you go as an apprentice, you discover that, especially in our climb here, most apprentices always, most times, have disagreement and break up with their masters. Why? Because the master does not want to expose you to his network. He only wants to teach you the craft and abandon you after. But the mentor will not just teach you the craft, it will open your mind. The same way his mind is formed, it will attempt to form your mind, give you philosophies that he adopts in his life and work. So mentorship is about reprogramming your orientation, reprogramming your mind, and reprogramming your brain for success. So what you do as a mentee is to do what we call observational learning. Observational learning. That's why I tell you, I'm going to show you next week the structure of the mentorship. The first is to attend the mentorship training. And the next line is to join the community of mentees. This is just a training giving you understanding. But when you enter into full mentorship under practical mentorship, you are going to be doing so many things. You are going to be doing observational learning. You are not just going to be coming for this session, you are going to come for relationship. And it is in that relationship, in the class, you will be taught. But in relationship, your awareness will be expanded. You develop the mindset. And don't forget one of the things that we talk about under the definition of inheritance. You are not just going to develop a mindset, you are going to develop the discipline that creates them. And through the community, you are going to develop a culture. You know, when everybody around you does the same kind of thing, it's going to become a culture. So, and that is what the practical mentorship is set up to build. Don't forget, that is just moving aside. Let me also say this. You can be rich as an individual and not be wealthy. But when you stay in the community of the rich, then then you are wealthy. You can be rich as an individual, but the moment you are plugged into a community and that does the same thing and you do the same thing also that makes you to become rich, rather than becoming rich, you become wealthy. Why? Because a culture is created. You do what, like I said, observational learning, and then everything about you just work in a particular stereotyped way. So most of you have not plugged into the wealthy community, and you are or who have not plugged into wealthy community, and that way you have people around your life who are consistently reminding you of a particular style of life or a particular lifestyle. You understand? What I mean is that if you are not in a community of the wealthy and you are learning the mindset of the wealthy, very soon you will return back to that community where you belong, the community of the poor, who always think that things will not work, who always think that there will be problems. You are struggling between the community of the wealthy and the community of poverty, and so you will not gain traction. You will not gain traction. And don't forget, your best asset in network marketing is your name, and your name is your personal reputation and integrity. Let's talk about your second asset. Let's talk about your second asset in network marketing. Let me, before I go into the second asset, let me still talk a few things about network marketing. Let me tell you, say one or two things about network marketing before we go to what is your second asset. We'll be able to get to that in this series. There are so many desires and expectations you have, but you don't have the capability to do it right now. You understand? The result you deserve must come from the man that you have become, not the desire that you have. I want us to, we only come from the man that you have become, the woman that you have become, not the desires that you have. And I'm going to explain it to you. There are many desires in a man's heart, but that desire is not sufficient to produce a particular result. So what do? An adult wants you to think that wealth is very tough, but the truth is that it is not. But as you desire something, you have to become what you desire, and that's what will give you the result that you want in life. And so today, you have to understand that even the network marketing, as it might look like it's a good decision to undertake in life, it may also become the worst decision that you can ever make and destroy you totally. The reason is that it's important that you understand that network marketing sometimes is a suicidal journey to destroy personal reputation. That is, if you don't have capacity to support the people and help them, and you make more enemies than you went into network marketing. And so let me also postulate that the quality of any decision that you take is dependent on the quality of knowledge you have before that decision. Many of you will understand that there are so many decisions that you have taken 3 years ago, 5 years down the line, that if you are to take that same decision today, you will take it differently. Why? Because in the last 2 months, you have had a different orientation, you have been exposed to different thinking, a different mindset, and so the quality of your knowledge is different, and so the decision that you take will likely be different from what you took 2 years ago, even 4 months ago. I remember meeting somebody and having exposed him to the kind of mindset that we program the people in our community to have. He said, "Oh, I wish I had met you before now," because in fact, he shared some decision that he took a week before he met me. He shared those decisions with me. He said, "If I had met you, I wouldn't have taken those decisions that I made." So, ladies and gentlemen,
Let me
one of the
tell
things
you,
that you allow me to
whatever I
do
tell
is
you
to
here
get
is
into your
what
mind.
works. Is
Is
what
to
has
get into
worked.
your mind.
Is what had made the wealthy to be wealthy. Is what had made me to also, what I've also experienced that had made me to become who I have become today. And that's why many times when we say a poor man is a very wicked person, poverty is result in wickedness. And that's why you must understand that a poor man is not someone who doesn't have money. A poor man is not somebody who doesn't have money. A poor man, so because let me tell you, some poor people have money. It will shock you to know that some poor people actually have money. Some poor people actually have money.
Actually have money. What did I say? Put it in the chat box. Let me know that you actually have money. So many times, poverty is not a result of not having money. Poverty is a thing of the mind. A poor man, let me define poverty for you. A poor man is a man that has refused to use the potential that God has put in him. A poor man is a man who has refused to develop the capacity that God has put in him. Is someone like has made up his mind not to be useful with the resources that God has put in him. Because let me tell you, there are so much knowledge, resources today, so much knowledge freely available today. But when you see poor people, they are refuse to use the resources to create wealth for the benefit of mankind. And that's why in fact, a platform like this will be on and you will see very few people there. You will see a lot of people you invite. By the time you call them and ask them, I didn't see you, they will say, I'm very busy. Ask them this question. That busyness for today, since morning till night, how much has it produced for you? How much has it produced for you? That's why you will know people who are poor. They don't want to miss the next wedding ceremony in town. They don't want to miss the next naming ceremony in town. They don't want to miss the next. They can substitute learning. They can substitute learning for pleasure. They can substitute learning for going to watch films, going to watch cinemas. You know, and that is why you will understand how poverty limits a man. When a man is poor, he closes doors not just to himself, but to people around him. But when a man is wealthy, he opens doors. He opens doors. A poor man, by my definition, is a resource waster. Put it in the chat box for me. A poor man is who? Is a resource waster. Thank you. A poor man is a time waster. So a poor man is a man who has made up his mind not to take advantage of the massive knowledge that's available to move forward. A poor man is an example that everything fails. He says, I will not learn, I don't want to be wealthy. They don't say it in their mouth, but their actions speaks it more than speaking it in the mouth.
The priority first of a
Somebody
wealthy man
is watching cinema right now.
Wealth is to enter into wealth and not any of these things that they waste their time doing. And that's why they always have excuses not to attend sessions where they can learn and better themselves. So a poor man is an example that of everything that fails. It's an example of everything that does not work. So when they see a poor man, they see impossibility. when they see a poor man, they see he shines the light of poverty. So again, let me also tell you that poverty is a sign of lack of discipline.
Put it in the chat box for me. Poverty is a sign of lack of discipline. And that's why we said, don't forget, under the definition of inheritance, that inheritance is the transfer of knowledge. A poor man does not want to even learn something new. And also the discipline that creates that knowledge. So a poor man does not want to hear any of those things, does not want to have more knowledge. He takes excuses. He prefers to be in a party than be in a place where he will learn. A poor man. And when you refuse to obey the laws of the earth and take advantage of it to break the laws of heaven, you'll be poor. So a poor man is a sign of a man lacking in discipline. And because of that, he does not put his hand on anything that works, and it transfers the nature of poverty into everything. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, bring a poor man into the community of the wealthy. He will attempt to transfer the nature of poverty into them. Bring a poor man into a situation that works. He will want to put the mindset of a poverty mentality to him. Ladies and gentlemen, I showed an opportunity where people have made great wealth. I showed it to somebody. He joined a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, and after like a month, this person came to me and said, I don't think this thing will work. I said, why? He said, I don't think it will work. I said, but he said, please, I think I don't want to do it again. And after a lot of attempt to convince this person, he said, I want to opt out. I said, but I told you, if you opt out before the expiration of this term, you are going to be charged so amount. I said, I don't mind. So because of poverty mentality, lost some percentage as a result of canceled contracts, and miss the opportunity that a lot of people have become wealthy on. That is what poverty does to a man, and that's what poverty does to a man. And that's why when I tell you, and you begin to learn and apply discipline, and you understand how to become rich, you will understand that you will definitely get into it. You definitely get into it. So it's not just learning and having the knowledge, you must also accompany it with the discipline that it requires. And the moment you begin to do this, you discover that everything, as you are learning this thing, your brain, your emotions, your everything just gets into it. And before you know it, nothing can stop you. Nothing will be able to stop you from getting into the wealth that you desire. Even though your desire say no and knowledge say yes, your discipline say yes, your brain will only produce what it learns. What did I say? Even though your desire say no.
Put it for me in the chat box.
With your knowledge
That's why
says
a
yes,
man can
your
desire
discipline say yes.
But as long as he refuses to learn it, as long as he refuses to act it,
type it for me in the chat box. Your brain
the opposite of what
only
desires. So desire is not enough. Desire is not enough to achieve wealth, achieve
that your
greatness.
brain produces
Add the knowledge and the discipline to it if you actually want to become great. So don't forget what I said. Don't forget what I said.
Even though your desire says no, but your knowledge says yes, and your discipline says yes, you will get into the yes. Why? Your brain only produces what it learns. Let me put it for you in the chat box. Your brain produces what it learns. Your brain produces what it learns. Your brain produces what it learns. So it is not your desire that produces anything. It is the knowledge and your discipline that produce what you get. It is your knowledge and your discipline that produce what you get. So I said here, if your desire say no, your knowledge say yes, your discipline say yes, you will get it. You will get a yes. Now, if I ask you, if your desire say yes, now let me put this in the chat box and I want you to tell me the answer. I want you to give me the answer. If your desire say yes,
but your knowledge says no, I'm not going to learn
your
anything.
knowledge says
I'm not
no.
going to be disciplined. I'm not going to take on the discipline that I need to get there. What will you get? You will get a no. So, as we conclude, if you desire to be wealthy, and your brain only understands poverty, if you desire to be wealthy,
understands the dimensions. Do you know how many poor people are desiring? Brain does not have what it takes. It's not exposed to the knowledge that creates wealth. They have not been exposed to the processes that create wealth. No matter the desire to be wealthy, you can even pray from now till tomorrow. As long as your desire does not align with your discipline, as long as your desire does not align with your knowledge, as long as your desire does not align with your exposure, as long as your desire does not align with the processes, your desire to be wealthy will always be frustrated by all of these things. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I want to end today. I hang you on the knowledge of network marketing. Then I moved on in the knowledge of understanding the process that creates wealth, the discipline, the reason you need a mentor and to belong to a community. So ladies and gentlemen, as you have listened, and many of us have been coming on consistently, and you want to transform from just having the mindset or the knowledge of the world, but you want to come into the community where you see a whole lot of 10, 15, 20, 30 people behaving the same way, acting the same way, and this having the same form of discipline, and on the journey to making wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, then you need to join the Practical Mentorship Group. It's a community. This is just a learning platform. You need to get into the community. I said always that it is free, but very expensive. It is free in the sense that I'm not going to collect a dime from you. I know mentors around the world that takes as much as $1,000, but I'm not going to collect any money from you. However, the moment you join that community, you lose control over your finances. I take over because I also take on the responsibility to ensure that in 2 years, 24 months, you become wealthy. I show you the platforms that the wealthy take advantage of to become wealthy. Ladies and gentlemen, if that is you and you're already saying yes to getting into that community of the wealthy, as one of the leaders in the platform now, or one of the mentees, we drop the link to that community. Please let somebody drop the link to that community on the chat box so that anyone that desires to be in that community can click on those links and be a part of that community. Don't forget, it is not what I wanted to rush into. It is not what I wanted to go into without thinking twice. Like I've always said, if you join that community, you have an assurance that of becoming wealthy in between 1 month and 24 months on the medium term. And on the long term, you have an assurance that in the next 5 years, you will be totally in the class of the wealthy. And this is the way we say it in our community. By these definitions, on the medium term, in 2 years, you will tell yourself, I can never be poor again. And in 5 years, you will say, I can afford to buy anything I just set my heart to buy. I can afford anything I set my heart to have. And that is why that community is for only those people who have made up their mind to surrender total control over their finances and move on in this direction. Also, if you are here and you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel, we post all of the programs that we hold, every of these seminars, the ones that you have missed and the ones that we still continue to hold, you need access to them. Please, one of the leaders should also drop the link for the YouTube channel on the forum so that everyone here will also be a member and a partaker of that channel. On that channel, you can listen to every series that you have missed in this mentorship training. You can listen to it. It's been running for over 2 months now. You can listen to it from the first to the second up to the last week. And by Monday, Tuesday, this edition also will be uploaded. Also, you can encourage anybody that you love to also subscribe to this channel so that they can be a partaker of it. Is anybody helping me to drop the channel link in the chat box? Please help me drop the YouTube channel in the link in the chat box so that everyone here will also subscribe to it. This is where we will be ending this session. But before we end, I want to invite you tomorrow for another program by the same time on the same link. What we do is tomorrow, to show you specific opportunities, specific products, specific platforms that the wealthy are taking advantage of and they have become wealthy. One of the platforms, a general in the Nigerian army who wanted to buy a house for $50,000 and met somebody like me, and he told him, I want to buy a house. He said, sir, why can't you delay buying the house for 1 year? And then instead of buying one, you can buy it. They said, how? And the person showed him the opportunity, and he was so excited. He bought into it. After 1 year, he had 3 times the money that he used in coming on that platform. Ladies and gentlemen, I think on this platform too, I told you about the opportunity in the cryptocurrency world. 2 weeks ago, one Bitcoin was valued at 5.2 million. But as we speak, just 7 days after then, Bitcoin had risen to 6.3 million, 1.1 million increase within 1 week. Imagine that you are that person that could just have listened to this advice and you had the money to buy 1 Bitcoin. In 7 days, you could have earned as much as 1.1 million naira in the space of 7 days over just one investment. Ladies and gentlemen, there are huge opportunities, but you need to align with a community where these things are being discussed and you see these opportunities as they come. So I invite you tomorrow to a platform on this same channel, on this same link, where we show you specific opportunities that the rich take advantage of. Once again, we love to keep to time. Join me again tomorrow and then next week Saturday as we understand the process and the platform and the community that they take advantage of to entitle